Keen Project Solutions, a modern engineering and construction firm, embracing technology, establishing industry-leading systems and processes, and delivering reliable results to our customers. At Keen, we are passionate about inspiring our team and our customers to achieve great things, offering the highest quality services in commercial construction to deliver turnkey projects. Our core beliefs drive us forward. Protect people, build relationships, drive innovation, and focus on end goals, bringing our customers' desired results to life. See how Keen can work for you at ThinkDifferent.ThinkKeen.com.
%10 of all the new cars sold in Iowa come from the Carl Auto Group. Our neighbors trust us to have the largest selection and the highest standards. To our current customers, thank you. And to our future customers, see for yourself why Carl drives Iowa.
Your dealer for life, it's the Carl way.
We know that carrying your groceries out to your car seems a bit old school. That saying hello and asking about your day feels like a thing of the past. Being best at fresh, it's not just a fad. Serving high-quality meat at affordable prices? Talk about a throwback. But at Fareway, that's kind of our thing. Because some things never go out of style. Friendly at Fareway. It's more than just a name.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Postgame show. Iowa State wins it 39-14. I'm your host, Lea Nelson, alongside Chris Williams, who seems like he's pretty pumped. Thanks for joining us in the Northwest Bank Studios. Semi-pumped?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll get to it. Let me thank a couple of our sponsors first. Shout out Fareway Meat and Grocery. I know you got some stuff for your tailgate.
I did. Made pulled pork.
That's what I'm talking about?
Yep. Smoked it all on throughout Thursday night, and everybody ate it today. It was great.
Let's go. 10 out of 10. And then our friends over at Keen Project Solutions. If you're looking for a career that challenges and inspires you, Keen Project Solutions is growing and hiring engineers and project managers for their Ankeny and Kansas City offices. Join a team that values your dedication, fuels your career growth, and turns your expertise into impactful solutions. Make sure you visit ThinkDifferent.ThinkKeen.com to apply. All right. I'm actually glad that game is over because it seemed like every other play someone was getting injured.
That was the most stressful 39-14 win ever.
Right. It was making me a little uncomfortable the last two quarters. I don't know if you have any updates on anything.
Well, I mean, listen, okay, so we are doing this the second the game gets over.
Right.
I don't have any injury information. I can tell you what I've been looking at on the sideline. I don't think Jontez Williams is that bad. He was like laughing. He had his helmet. Good. Usually when they're not able to go back in the game, the helmet is physically taken from them. Mm-hmm. So he got his ankle rolled up on at Arkansas State, and I'm just wondering if it didn't like re-aggravate it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he was walking around like smiling. So I'm not too panicked there. I do have the television broadcast on, and I know what everybody saw with Dominic Orange.
Yeah.
I think he was just mad from what I'm kind of hearing. I don't think that he was like, oh, you're ruled out. Because generally when that happens, they are taken to the locker room, their pads are taken off of them, and they are not allowed to physically even have a helmet or anything like that. Didn't happen with either one of those guys. Now the other ones, Tayshaun James and Kaijon Cummings-Coleman both went to the locker room. So those don't look as good. So, I mean, Iowa State, like, realistically could have lost 4 defensive starters in that second half that was a blowout, and then dodged a bullet when Rocco Beck has to go into concussion protocol, which luckily he was able to come back into the game. So as stressful as that was, I'm hopeful that it's not that big of a deal.
I mean, it seemed like from what I saw on the
everybody
TV,
else is saying that Tayshaun James came back into the game, so that's good.
Yeah.
That's good that 19 was back out there. The Cummins-Coleman one looked worse.
I agree.
That looked like he I don't know. It was like in the rib area.
It was scary.
Maybe like a clavicle type thing. I don't know.
It was hard to tell from the TV too what he was grabbing and what hurt. So
I don't know. We'll get to all that.
Yep.
That sucked. It was stressful, but that's a great win tonight for the football team.
Who really stepped up? Who did you love watching tonight and just surprised you?
Well, the guy I think that most people are going to really be happy about is Chase Sowell, the wide receiver. I tried telling people, when we have a difficult deal because when we only go by what the coaches say, and him and Townsend, the other transfer wide receiver, just had amazing springs, and they really, really liked these guys. Well, then they got kind of dinged up during fall camp, and we've seen really good transfer wide receivers at Iowa State who are in the National Football League now, 2 of them, and both of them, it took them a month to feel the flow of the offense. And man, it's really timing out. It's really timing out that's the case tonight with Chase Sowell. What a breakout game for him. He goes down with 4 catches, 146 yards, 5 targets. That's a really, really great game for that kid, and really happy for him because it's hard to come in. You're recruited to come in and be the man, and then all of a sudden you're 4th on the depth chart.
Yeah.
And you stick with it, and you knew he was. I feel like people, if you listen to me and Bloom on Sundays, we've tried telling you, it's gonna come, and it finally did. And I'm glad that he was able to do it on such a high-profile night, sellout crowd. The atmosphere here tonight was incredible. Now we got it. The games just take way too long. This was absolutely. Now there were a lot of injuries in the second half, and it felt God, the amount of reviews. What time? We kicked off at 6 and we went on at 9:40. Come on, this is way too much. My 6-year-old's here, she can't handle this.
I can barely handle this, and I'm 24.
She wants to see Sweet Caroline, but God, it can't be a 4-hour game.
No, it gets a little ridiculous.
Tonight, it was it was fun, but I can't imagine there's a lot of people psyched up leaving Jack Trice because the freaking game just drug on for 2 days.
Did a lot of people stay? I can't tell from the TV.
It was probably half full at the end, I would say.
Yeah.
I know the Williams girls did because they have to see Sweet Caroline. It's their highlight of the entire day.
Of course. I wouldn't expect anything else.
So Chase definitely was a guy for me.
Yep.
Rocco, I thought, played really, really well. He didn't keep his throwing touchdown streak going. Big deal. I don't really worry about stuff like that, but I know a lot of the fans do. He had 3 rushing touchdowns, for crying out loud.
That's crazy.
But I thought he played – he's as good as anyone in the Big 12. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in this league, but I don't think I would probably take any of them. He's just that good, and he is just – man, and what's fun about it, too, is you score 39 and you only threw 20 passes. It's not like you're having to go out there and – chuck it all over the place. I agree with Kyle, who's watching on YouTube, that the offensive line was very good. Iowa State just overmatched that team in all facets of the game. So just a dominant win. We'll get to the other stuff. Thank a couple of our other sponsors, the Natuzels from Raymond James. Man, they're great guys. Really lucky that they came into our ecosystem here. They're good friends now. Chase lives in Bondurant, and so really, if you are looking ahead to, and you're already planning finances and all that good stuff for 2026, remember our friends the Natuzels. That is spelled Netusil. They are with Raymond James. Also, our friends over at Central States Roofing, another great company that is locally owned, and they are great supporters of everything we do, commercial roofing. And they do replacements, bad weather, leaks, updating, they do it all. Central States Roofing, they're one of the best in the entire state of Iowa, but they love the local stuff, and they love supporting what we do here at Cyclone Fanatics. So we thank them. But I'm not going to just do this whole show and just obsess about potential injuries that I don't know anything about. Right. What we need to do is break down some other things. I thought Iowa State had a great defensive game plan tonight. with Noah Fafita, the quarterback from Arizona. And, the number one thing I would point out when I look at this box score is I just didn't know how Iowa State would do against the run, because I really liked Mahdi, the running back for them, and pretty much held him in check. The good thing that happened here, and I thought it was critical when Iowa State goes and gets up 8-0 early, Iowa State really put them behind, and because I was concerned about the running game, and they Mahdi averaged 6.5 yards per carry, which is a lot. The problem was they got down so quickly that Arizona just was in throwing situations constantly, and that allowed Iowa State's defense to really thrive. And there were a lot of smoke signal coverages and stuff like that John Haycock was doing to Noah Fafita, and that was a lot of fun to watch up here. So I love the game plan. And then offensively, the second half, to me in this game was just kind of it was so rigid, and I don't feel like I really learned anything about Iowa State, but I do love how Taylor Mauser in the offense just attacked this Arizona defense that's very unconventional. We could do this show together for the next 10 years, Leah, and never see a defense that plays like that. And I understand, if you're not a football geek, you may not see it, but when you slow it down, they play a very unconventional style of defense. And I really like how, Iowa State had 2 weeks to prepare for it, and they knocked it out of the park. They took advantage of it. And, their stats aren't great, but that's because Iowa State, they were great. They had 399 yards, whatever. But they were just so damn efficient tonight, Iowa State was just popping off 3-4 minute drives really whenever it wanted to against Arizona. And I wasn't scared. I didn't think Iowa State would lose this game. But I thought this would be a close game. I think I picked Iowa State to win by 4. Really impressed of just how much better across the board, player for player, talent for talent, size for size. And they should be. This is year 10 for Matt Campbell. This is year 2 for Coach Brennan down there in Tucson. But Iowa State just outmatched that team across the board for 60 straight minutes. And they imposed their will on them from the opening snap. I agree with some of the offensive line was dominant. The defensive line got pushed. I thought John Haycock called an aggressive game, especially early on. And it was just a very pleasing way to, because, there's this little bit of thought with me coming into tonight where, okay, well, how good is Kansas State? Well, they got a nice win today against Central Florida, whatever. How good is Iowa? Iowa played pretty well today against Indiana.
They did. Almost
beat a really good Indiana team. But I was like, how good is Iowa State? I think they're good. I know, all of these players, and they won 10 games last year. I think they're good. But maybe this Arizona team is I don't know. Maybe Arizona's going to turn out to suck. I don't necessarily think they will. I think they're a 7-5 type program. But Iowa State just kicked the crap out of them.
Yeah, they looked
just dominated them in every facet of the game. So that's encouraging. That's really, really encouraging that you could, because I have watched so much Iowa State football where you just let other teams just hang around. But the problem, the reason this team's not doing that, one, it's their mindset. They're aggressive, and that comes from your coaches. Haycock is calling a more aggressive game this year too, by the way. I don't know if you guys, he is. This is becoming a thing. And then the Bulldog offensive coordinator that just goes out there and just come on, tight ends are throwing passes.
Insane.
We got 14 personnel. What in the hell is going? We got 2-point conversions. But it's just talent for talent. They were just way better than that team.
Yeah.
And this is a game that I didn't think Iowa State would lose. I thought they'd figure out a way to win it, but I thought Arizona would put up a lot more of a fight. And Iowa State just kind of imposed their will from the beginning, and man, Arizona acted like they wanted to leave midway through the second quarter.
They did. It kind of seemed like they were giving up, and it seemed like Iowa State was just running circles around them. They were exhausted. You could tell, especially by the fourth quarter. But
yeah. Yeah, and that's what happens, right? Like we've seen other teams be able to do this to Iowa State a lot over the course of the last 20 years, where they're the tired team, like they're even in the Campbell era, and Matt kind of talked about this after the Iowa game, where he's just like, yeah, well now like we're finally to the point where we want to be physically, and you could see that like the offensive line has taken a lot of shit from fans over the years, and some of it's deserved, some of it's not, but that's a group of grown men, like that's like adults out there playing, and the other thing about the offensive line that nobody ever really talks about is like you have to have a play caller and you have to have a quarterback that can do things to keep people on their toes, and you got that. Like, listen, Iowa State at one point tonight went from 14 personnel to running quads to the left to an empty backfield, all in the same drive. Like, do you know how hard that is to defend? And I know that he does. And I'm pointing up there at Mauser. And, like, that's really difficult to game plan for. So, good stuff across the board. I'm like all of you. It's like, God, I wish that they wouldn't have had all the little dinged up injuries throughout the second half. And why was John Tez out there? I don't know. But, you know, I also think that, like, I'm trying to, like, think my way through it, and they have a huge injury right now with Jeremiah Cooper, and they were running different combos out there. They were running Quentin Taylor with Trey Bell. They were running Trey Bell with John Tez. I think they wanted to run Quentin with John Tez a little bit. And I know what they're doing, and that's like the most fun part for fans. It's why I love non-conference basketball when Iowa State's like beating these teams by 40. But I figure you could appreciate this as an athlete, Leah, because I'm watching a scrimmage. I'm watching the coaches teach. I'm watching them try different combinations. And I think that's what they were doing defensively there in the second half, is as crazy as it seems. And, God, you know, hopefully it doesn't bite him. The John Test thing didn't look that bad to me. It looked bad on the field. I was watching him like a hawk, and I think he's fine. He walked off under his own power, had his own helmet. So I think that Iowa State dodged a bullet there. But, yeah, but that was fun. And I can't wait to go back and watch it again. 22, Klosterman gets his first time this year after being hurt. Willich, sorry, I was mispronounced his name. Phenomenal game. Like, the upgrade from having Carson Willich back is really, really, like, staggering. What about Jamison Patton? Awesome game for him. So there's a lot of guys that just had great games, but it's the big picture, and this was as weird as it felt in the second half because it was such a boring and rigid game. Like, any of us would have been thrilled to win this thing 39-14. So go and celebrate it.
It's also because it felt like it took 4 hours. Well, almost
it did. We got a major problem. I get it, and I want the refs to be able to go to replay when things like matter. That's what it's for. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it gets to a point.
Like, I mean, they're just buzzing everything. Like, it even like plays that don't even matter. It's just like, God, it's like anything in the world. Like, don't you just get sick and tired of nobody has any common sense anymore, right? Like, we don't need to go to the monitor there. The game is
so valid.
It's a 25-point game. You know, what are we doing?
Let's wrap it up, everyone. Let's keep it.
Even the guys on ESPN were pissed when the Arizona coach is calling timeouts. It's like, what are we doing? This is so stupid. Like, do we really need to go to the monitor for everything when the game is completely out of reach? Like,
maybe it'll change next year.
I'm the old man now.
Yeah, you are. It's only 10 o'clock.
I know. I'm old. No, it just drives me nuts. Like, these refs, they rely on and what they'll do, though, that drives me nuts is they'll make a particular call on the field just to, like, back them up because they know that they can go back and review it. It drives me nuts.
You're riled up.
I just, like, come on. We should have been out of here, like, 40 minutes ago.
Agreed. I agree.
But, like, this is why people don't go to games, though, across the country.
Because it takes so long?
This is why. And then all these TV timeouts and like, oh, it's the smile cam, and like it's just nonstop. It never stops. And then every year they add another one, and like this is ridiculous. This game should have been over 40 minutes before it was.
Sounds like you just hate when people have fun.
No, I don't like the.
Chris hates the smile cam. Tweet it out.
Sorry. Thanks to our friends at Delta Dental.
Right.
They don't sponsor us. Yeah, like no, it. What a deal.
What a
You
deal.
know?
What a deal.
We're,
And they got
well, the great thing is, and I was actually thinking about this earlier today. Again, walking around, and I've had a couple of these moments this year. Like, I wish that you were as old as me, and we have a lot of listeners who are older than me who were here when, you know, we would get a crowd of 35,000 people, and you're like, oh, this is a good crowd today. Like, it's unbelievable, the atmosphere. And, like, I think Matt passed some sort of milestone tonight with Big 12 wins.
Yep, he moved up.
Yeah, he moved up or something. And it's just like, I think everybody appreciates him. I don't know if everybody probably understands just how like monumental of a task, like to do this, to get Iowa State football to the point where you're in the top 15 and just beating the shit out of good teams.
Yeah.
Like Arizona doesn't suck. Like this isn't some MAC school that he just beat up. Like that's a good team that was 3-0 that came in here with all the professional money was all over him, all over them tonight. Yeah. So just a really, just an impressive win. I just hope all the guys are healthy because I'm looking ahead, and that Cincinnati game next week is going to be really tough. 11 a.m. kick, and they went on the road today and beat Kansas, which I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming at all. They're really good.
And going from a night game, home game, whiteout, all the fun stuff to an 11 a.m. game is a little different. So.
Yeah. I mean, we saw now Iowa State doesn't have to go across the country. It is a challenge, but like USC they had to do that last week, and I don't know. It'll be really interesting when that point spread comes out. Iowa State should be favored by around a touchdown, but I wonder how much that win over Kansas will bump up Cincinnati's power rating. I would suspect it will, and you also have to keep in mind too. This will be a fun matchup. It's always one to keep in mind where one of the inventors of Iowa State's defense is now the defensive coordinator at Cincinnati, Tyson Veit. It's the Veit Bowl. That's coming up next weekend. So there's this familiarity between these two programs, and I think that'll be a really good game. And this Sorsby can run, so Iowa State needs to get healthy, and it'll be a really good challenge next week. I'm
excited.
I thought that tonight too. But anytime you go on the road, you know that you're in for a barn burner next week.
Yeah, and you'll be nervous no matter what through the whole game.
I'm always nervous. Come on. I can't
He's
not
always
be
nervous.
nervous.
You
That
can't be
sucked
nervous.
though. Like here's why I'm mad.
Let's hear it.
I'm mad because Iowa State fans don't get this very often with these league games where you can just sit back and be stress free and just enjoy it. And then like every other play, somebody was getting hurt.
That was the problem.
You know, it was like God. Like
we can't have
can it ever
anything here.
can it ever just be
Just where you can be just calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah.
No, that's no fun.
Yeah. Get out of here.
People are
Cyclones
roasting you in the
5-0.
comments too. It's so funny. Shout out to all of our
That's my
sponsors.
life.
Shout out Chris for hopefully you can get to bed at a decent time. Shout
That
out
ain't
Aiden for
happening.
producing. Go Cyclones.
Later.